And coming to the India population, at the time of independence 350 millions, in the year 2000 1 billion, and year 2011 1.2 billion. So huge increase takes place earlier from 1947 to year 2000, and after that year 2011 1.2 billion. So population hugely rapidly increased. So whatever the numbers given in NCERT textbook, this is the most important for NEET examination. So world population year 1900 2 billions, 2000 millions, and in the year 2000 6 billion, and year 2011 7.2 billion. In India population at the time of independence 1947 350 millions, and in the year 1 billion, in the year 2000 1 billion, and in the year 2011 1.2 billions, right? So whenever huge explosion takes place in the population growth, so what type of the steps government had conducted different types of the programs, steps for birth control. So earlier we discussed the government of India implemented RCH programs for maintenance of reproductive healthy society, but here the government of India again implemented the programs RCH. So because of for what? The majorly birth control methods. Through our RCH programs we could bring down the population growth rate, but it was only marginal. So through the RCH program, what is RCH? Abbreviation of RCH, reproductive and child health care programs, we could bring down the population growth rate, but it was only marginal. So whatever the population growth rate, so we created different types of awareness in the people. RCH created, we discussed earlier. So awareness of pregnancy after postnatal period, prenatal period. So those are all created awareness program. So we could bring down the population growth rate, but it was only marginal. So not much. And next one, according to 2011 census report, the population growth rate was less than 2%, that is 20 per thousand per year, a rate which our population could increase rapidly. So this point, according to 2011 census report, the population growth rate was less than 2%. So every year, per year, every 1000 persons, 20 persons are adding. So compare with the births and deaths, everything. So finally 20 persons are adding for every 1000 persons in the span of year. So look here, so how much population increases rapidly. This rate, a rate which our population could increase rapidly, obviously. So per 1000 20 members are added. For 10,000 how many? For 1 lakh, for 10 lakhs, for 1 crore, and for 100 crores. So these are rapid increasing is takes place according to 2000 census report, 2011 census report. So how much growth rate, population growth rate, that is less than 2%. So that is 20 by 1000 per 1 year. Okay. Such an alarming growth rate could lead to an absolute scarcity of even the basic requirements, that is food, shelter, clothing, in spite of significant process in those areas. Obviously whenever population was increased more and more, and whatever the agricultural lands and whatever the basic needs are not going to be increased. Obviously whenever you can see nowadays the agricultural lands, all the agricultural lands is converting into residential areas. So whenever the productivity is decreases, whenever the productivity is decreasing, how all the people will get sufficient minimum basic needs, such an alarming growth rate could lead to an absolute absolute scarcity of even the basic requirement, scarcity of the even basic requirements. So food, that is what is basic requirements: food, shelter, clothing, in spite of significant process in those areas. So earlier the people lifespan is more. What is the reason? In the earlier days the people lifespan is more because earlier days the lifespan is more because they are taking so rich nutrient food. Lifespan is more means what? In case of all the advanced facilities was not developed, medical facilities was not developed, then also the people are able to, the people are strong, they are able to survive in different types of problems. But nowadays that the people lifespan was decreasing. The reason is what? Because of whatever the food we are taking, those food which is not such quality, that is not consist with much quality. Because earlier whatever the food the people are taking, that food is pure rich nutrients food. But whatever now we are eating, those food the nutrition is what type of the nutrition? So without any type of nutrients, very less nutrients, all are mostly hybrid varieties. So whatever the hybrid varieties we are taking, so those hybrid varieties are not consist with such type of nutrients. Obviously the food, whenever the food we are taking, such the type of the food do not consist with much nutrient food. So we can require nutrient food means we can purchase from the markets, as in the organic food, that is so much expensive, right? So nowadays we are getting all hybrid varieties only. So whenever we are taking hybrid varieties, obviously our lifespan is decreases, right? So even basic requirement, food, shelter, clothing, in spite of significant progress in those areas, obviously whenever the population was increased, the basic requirement is going to be also decreases. So therefore the government was forced to take up serious measures to check this population growth rate. Therefore the government was forced to take up serious measures to check the population growth rate. So population growth rate like this, huge population growth takes place in next generation, future generation, they didn't get at least basic needs like food, shelter and clothing. So the most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate smaller families. So what government was forced to take up a serious action, serious measures to check the population growth rate. The most important step to overcome this problem is motivate smaller families by using various contraceptive methods and people aware of about the benefit of small families. Whenever small families are there, so small family means without worries, big family means all worries. Why? Because whenever there is mother, father and one or maximum two children, so in spite of instead of two children there is 8 children, 10 children, 15 children, they are unable to feed properly. So there is everything is problem. So motivate small families, motivation of small families by the using of various contraceptive methods. So contraceptive methods, the ways of prevent pregnancy is called contraceptive methods. In the next topics we will discuss regarding about contraceptive methods and people aware of about the benefit of small families. Whenever small families are there, then obviously there is no worry. There is big families, there is more worries. So statutory raising of marriageable age of the female to 18 years and males at 21 years. So female 18 years and male 21 years, that was decided by whom? Anyone? Decided by government. Statutory raising. So below 18 and 21 years it is comes under child marriages. Okay, it is punishable. and commonly used contraceptive methods. So, what